Hey guys, I'm Choza again, and on this video I will be giving you 10 tips to jump higher. To have a big air, from easy tips to tips that you might not know. I will start this video telling you that there are things that you can do on the line and there are things that you can do off the line. I will start explaining the things you can do off the line, so let's start. And this is going to be my first tip, and it's super important for you to have in mind. When you jump on a small line and without tension, you won't be able to jump that high. I'm using a 28 meters long line, around 180 or 170 meters tall from the crash pads, and I'm actually using two ratchets here, which I can put a lot of tension. Some people like to use pulleys too, but you have to have tension. Actually, it's a little loose right now, the line. As you can tell, you need tension to jump high. In this point, I will be giving you two kind of tips. One out of the line, which will be using all the safety that you can. I mean crash pads, I mean all that kind of things that you can use. It will help you a lot, and it's really important because when you start jumping higher, the risks are higher. And other things you can do while out of the line is using protection. For example, I use my pants and I use a short underneath them, so my butt don't hurt that much and it helps me. Why I use pants too? Because the friction of the line here for me is like kind of painful and I don't get used to that. That's why I use pants. If you have to put socks or put shoes, I don't know, whatever kind of things that helps you to don't get hurt, go for them. As I told you, the crash pads are super important. Don't listen to people that go like, oh no, this is a street sport and we're all hardcore mode and we train on the ground, on the street. I don't know. I mean, I respect that, but if you can prevent all your injuries and stuff just for using a right crash pad, please do it, especially if you are going to jump high. Some things that you can do on the line are learning a safety flip, watch Benny Schmidt safety flip tutorial, learning to catch the line with your arm, and also learning to touch the line to stop the falling directly into the ground. Another good tip to start jumping high is the focus. Usually when we are slacklining, we are told to look at one fixed point and don't move the focus of that point. When you're jumping high or doing tricks, you have, or at least me, I switch my fixed point and I watch, for example, where I'm going to land, or I try to imagine the line and follow the line only with the eyes. I don't move my head to switch the focus, and that's very important because if you move your head, you won't be straight, and that's not a good way to jump or to do anything. Remember, switch focus, but only with your eyes. One of the things that will help you on the slackline doing pretty much everything is learning how to use your arms. Remember to find the balance. You have to use your arms actually, to move them, to be like trying to get them up here. And when you're bouncing, your arms are what gives you the direction. Sometimes you're falling a little sideways, you can move it in the middle of the air and get back to the center of the line. That will help you a lot. Learning to use your arms will help you a lot. Another way to use your arms when you're jumping, especially if you're going to jump high, is when you go up, try to take your arms up, and when you go down, try to bring them down too. It's pretty much the same as the trampoline. You have to learn this movement, but at the same time, when you're in the middle there, you can make some little adjustments with your arm. So, another important thing for big jumps especially is learning to control our weight. All our weight has to go downwards. If you put all your weight downwards, the line will always throw you straight up back. If you put your weight a little sideways, the line will throw you to the other side, you know? So it's really important to control your weight, and for that you have to use a lot your core. That's a really important thing to learn. One important thing when you want to start jumping higher, it's not touching the ground with your foot. It's okay when you're beginning, but putting your foot on the ground will reduce all the momentum and all the air you're gaining and will start limiting you. So it's really important not to dab.
As you can see here, this is what you shouldn't do. Jump with your foot on the ground. You can tell the difference when you don't use your foot, you jump more freely.
Another thing that it's important, we are also told that the breathing is really important on slacklining, especially when you're doing long lines or stuff like that. People tell you that you have to breathe in and breathe out slowly. That type of breathing is called aerobic breathing. Personally, I don't do that. What I do is, when I'm going up, I take a quick breath and I hold it, and when I land back again on my butt, I exhale a little hard and a little fast. It's like, but that's just a quick breathing. That's called anaerobic breathing, at least in Spanish. I don't know how to say it in English. And that will take me to my next point. On this point, I want to talk to you about the style. By style, I don't mean the steez on the line, or not just that. I mean all the things that suit you. For example, my breathing is not that common. Most people breathe like aerobically, like I explained you on the last point. But that's what suits me. That's my technique, and that's what I want to tell you. Find your own technique and find something that suits you. Like, that's what I mean with style. Another example, I'm a butt bouncer more than a chest bouncer or anything else. I start mastering my butt bouncing and I don't do chest bounce that much. But that doesn't mean that you have to focus only on one style. If you can manage to learn all the styles and be more diverse, that will make you even better as a slackliner. One of the most important things I learned on the slackline is that repetition is the key. Personally, when I started, I learned the butt bounce, for example. I remember going for hours and hours just going from the butt to my feet and repeating it until I really master it. That's a really important thing that you have to know. And the last thing I want to tell you is that the slackline is a progressive sport. It's not just like soccer, for example, that you learn how to kick a ball and you can kick it only with more strength or something like that. These go for phases, through phases, you know? First you have to learn on a small line, then you start going to a big line, and then you start going more and more and more. You won't be able to jump super high if you are new to the sport. It will take practice. So don't rush all the process in between the tricks or in between anything on the slackline. So those were my 10 tips to jump higher. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you. And don't forget to leave us a like, to subscribe to the Gibbon channel, and leave us any comment if you enjoy the video, if you have any request or something. Just leave it there. Ciao!
La 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 la.